Hello everyone, my name's Benton, and in this video I'm going to build a guitar using a Warmoth neck and body, and the guitar that I'm building was actually inspired by a Friedman vintage T. I think that guitar looks super cool, sounds really good, but when I went to Sweetwater and saw the price at essentially $2,700, $2,699 to be exact, I thought, I wonder how much I could build something in that same vein from parts from Warmoth, using a neck and body from Warmoth and just getting other hardware and electronics and pickups from other places. So let's start off. This is the neck I ordered from Warmoth. I think it's gorgeous. It has a black Graphtec tusk nut in it, stainless steel 6150 fret wire, Fatback neck profile. Super excited about this neck. I think it looks great. Okay, next up, I got the body. Just simple swamp ash body, black paint job, Nitro finish. Happy with that. Also from Warmoth, I ordered this white Proloid pickguard. And then I got some miscellaneous hardware from Warmoth, such as the volume knobs and tone knobs, the neck plate, screws for the neck, screws for the pickguard, things like that. The input jack, or input cup, that plug your guitar in. For pickups, I went with the Seymour Duncan hot rodded set. Jazz in the neck position, JB in the bridge position. Ordered this from Sweetwater. Super stoked about these. Also from Sweetwater, I ordered these Emerson 500K push-pull short shaft pots. 4 of those. From Amazon, I ordered chrome string ferrules. Boom, Fender. From Amazon, I also ordered a 10-pack of these .047 orange drop caps. Capacitors. Okay, so next up, I have the 2 things I'm most excited about other than the neck. And that's the bridge and the tuners. Hardtail bridge from Hipshot. It's black with gold saddles. Is that focusing? It's black with gold saddles. Love this. Excited. Happy to have it. I also ordered my tuners from Hipshot. They're open back. You can see the brass gear in the back. They're staggered post. Boom. Beautiful. Stoked about these as well. The main reason I'm really excited about doing this build is because for the last few years I've really wanted to do a Warmoth build, with a Warmoth neck, a Warmoth body. I think that whole idea is super cool because you can get you can spend like a medium price point and get top-notch, top-level quality. So for the money, you get really good stuff. I really do think that Friedman vintage T guitar looks so cool, and the sound on the YouTube videos I've watched, just watching people on YouTube, they look awesome, they sound awesome, and that inspired me to do a Warmoth, sort of something in that same vein. Before I put on the neck, let's kind of run through what all I got. So this is just some spare, just some electrical wiring for whenever I wire in the pickups, do all the electronics. I got my 4 speed knobs. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy about these. I like speed knobs. The screws for the pick guard. I got 2 pick guards worth of screws. Here's the input jack. These are the strap holders, just cheapo, regular black strap holders. Here's a 3-way switch, got a black one. Here's what we're looking for, the neck plate and the screws for the neck plate. Get this out of the way. So this neck and body came with a sheet of paper that basically said that you don't slide your neck in like this because it's tapered, so do not do that. Instead, you pop it straight in from the top like that. And it fits great. There's like no left to right movement. Has a good fit. Let's get her turned over. Let's wipe the smudges off of the gloss. This black gloss finish is picking up every little fingerprint. So here's the neck plate. Wipe it off. All right, let's roll with it. This will go right here. There's a little pad that you can get that goes in between this neck plate and the body. I did not order it. I just didn't see the need. I'm amateur. I'm not a professional. This is the first time, and I'm going to do it my way, and if my way's screwed up, we're going to find out by the end of the video. Let's roll with it. Let's start screwing it. When in doubt, you know, screw it. I'm doing the top left one first. I feel like I can probably get a slightly better angle. Let's turn it, let's move it right here. Okay, let's try it like that. This might not work. Okay, the mic on the camera's getting in the way. Don't worry, I'll get this sorted out. Okay, I think this will be a good angle. I'm just gonna crank her down, guys. I'm gonna get started. This will be the top left. See, I don't know if I'm supposed to push hard or not push hard. I don't know. I'm gonna go gentle though. Just gently doing it. I'm pretty sure that that's started. Before I get it tightened down, I'm just gonna get them all started. They're starting easy, which makes me really happy. I'm sure, you know, as I get farther down, as I start tightening more, you know, I'll have to crank on it a little bit, but I'm happy that at the beginning, at least, I'm not having to crank on it. Okay, I've got them all pretty hand tight, and as my dad would say, tight is tight. So I'm not gonna crank down on them anymore. Let's see how she looks. Okay, easy peasy, guys, easy peasy. Worked out like a charm. Let's rock and roll. Okay, well here's my pick guard. Next thing I need to do is wire it. So now I'm going to attempt wiring the pick guard. So this is what the pick guard says. Looks good enough to me. They do put it on. Need long fingernails for this. Another item of requirement is long fingernails. I can't get it off. Haha, finally got it started. So this pick guard has some insulating material on it for the switch and for the pots. I'm going to leave that on there and just poke the switch in through there and the pots in through there. Let's see the pots. Seems to work. I have 4 of those. 2 volume, 2 tone. I'm using a crescent wrench to take this nut off. I'm just going to pop this through like this. That's harder than I thought it would be. I don't want to push too crazy hard. I'm just going to grab my knife and poke a little hole. That should be enough. So I was going to try and film the entire wiring process of wiring the pick guard, the pickups, and the pots, and the switch. But I think that's going to be a little too complicated for my camera skills, and It'd still take a long time. I've never done this before. It's going to take a while for me to do it because I'm going to have to be referring back and forth to my diagram. It's just going to take a long time. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of have a camera on, maybe show you a couple of time-lapse videos. I'm going to show video of me doing it so that we know that I did it and that I didn't take it to a guitar tech somewhere. I might have to do that. Like I said, I've never done this before. This could possibly go awry. I'm hoping it'll work out. I think it should. But what I've done so far is I put this switch in and all the pots. And just doing that like was more time consuming than I thought. I thought I'd be able to just plop them right in and turn them. It's not hard, but it's just kind of time consuming. So I went ahead and put the knobs on. They're gonna work well. All four of these do that. So yeah, I'm just gonna set the camera up and show. You're just gonna get bits and pieces of me wiring. I'll put a picture of the wiring diagram up on the screen. So what I have done is I've put the switch, the pickups, and the pots, and even the knobs for the pots on the pick guard. I haven't wired anything together yet though, so I'm gonna do that now. But so it came with 3 wires, 22 gauge wire like this, and for my wiring diagram on this, the shadow's right on that, isn't it? So on this 3-way switch, there are 4 points of contact. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of them have to reach down to the area of the pots right here. And one of them, this one, has to go all the way to the jack. And my jack's going to be, you know, approximately somewhere right in here about where my finger is. So say if I have to get this one all the way to the jack, it's going to be really tight trying to make that work. But on top of that, I only have 3, and I would need 4 at least. And, you know, say once I go from here to some, you know, on whichever one of these pots, at best I might have maybe this much wire left over from it. So I went to Lowe's to get some wire just like this. I thought I could find a roll of maybe, you know, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 feet, however they sell it, or buy it by the foot. They didn't have that there. They did have 20 gauge solid core wire. While I was there, I got on my phone and Googled and searched through some forums, see what people's opinions were about all that. And it was a topic of conversation that had been brought up a little bit before. And kind of what I found was that you could use 20 gauge solid core wire. But kind of from what little bit I read there in the moment, the common consensus seemed to be it was better to use something with stranded wire. And I did some reading where some people use 24 gauge wire, which is the same that's in the pickups. Here's one from the pickup. This is 24 gauge, like what's on the pickup. It's thinner than the 22 gauge. Basically, I ended up finding someone say that Ethernet cables have 8 strands of 24 gauge stranded copper wire in them, and they just so happen to have like a relatively recently priced Ethernet cable. I think it was like $6 and some change, add tax on top of that. I think this was 14, I don't remember, it was 14 or 15 feet long. So basically I have 8 strands of 24 gauge copper wire, stranded copper wire, that I got for like approximately $7. I cut off a little bit, let me show you. So here's one of the strands that I cut out. And I cut it where it will be able to easily reach. If I solder it here, it's going to reach here, and I'm going to have more than enough. So long story short, if you're in a bind kind of like I was, you can get Ethernet cable. I got a Cat 5e. I don't know exactly what that means, but there was like a Cat 6 and a Cat 5e. The Cat 5e was cheaper, so that's what I went with. And that's what I'm going to use to wire the 3-way switch to my pots and to my jack. I'm still going to use this 22 gauge to do the wiring on my pots, like the pot-to-pot wiring. So let's get started. Okay, so I was going to wire the guitar up with the push-pull pots to split the coils of the humbuckers, but that proved to be harder than I had anticipated. So I just wired it like just normal humbuckers, 2 humbuckers with no splitting options. So this is what I have. It looks like a mess. But what I'm going to do now is plug it in right here and hope that it works. Just hope and pray that it works. So right now, oh, that seems good. Got something going on. Let's get it turned over. I'm gonna put everything at 10. Okay, everything's on 10. Neck. Middle. Bridge. Okay, so it's a good thing I didn't screw down the pick guard, because when I plugged the cable in to test the pickups, the volume knobs weren't working. When I put the volume knobs to 0, I was still getting a signal. I went back and looked at what I'd done, the wiring that I'd done. I actually called my brother, kind of talked to him about it for a minute. Then we figured out really easily that what I had done, I ended up not wiring it for push-pull. They are push-pull pots, but I just went ahead and wired it like regular 2 volume, 2 tone, because I was gonna have to cross some wires that were really short, and I just didn't feel comfortable doing that just yet. I might do that later on, but as of right now, it's gonna work just like 2 humbuckers, 2 volume, 2 tones. And if I want that option in the future, then I'll be able to, I'll have the pots for it already. I might take it to a guitar tech, or I might do it myself, I don't know. But what I had done, like here, where you're supposed to solder either the pin to the top of the pot, I had forgotten to run a wire from that little pin there up to the top of the pot on both of these, on both volume pots. So I just was able to do that real quick. I screwed down the bridge, but I haven't screwed down the pick guard just yet. But this is what she looks like right now. Sorry if there's a lot of noise. I got hot and had to turn a fan on, and this mic's probably picking up all that. So I did not drill any pilot holes, and that went in pretty easily. So I got in all the screws. I still got to screw in the input jack and then put on the tuners, string it up, and set it up. Okay, so I pretty much have everything done except putting some strings on it. I put these string ferrules in it. These tuners are super easy to install. They're these little brackets. Comes with 2 brackets. I already have these tightened down, but it has these brackets and they hold them together. All you do is take your tuner. It has these 2 little lips here, and it just automatically lines it up straight. And then you take this, it's a bolt, it's kind of like a hollowed out bolt and washer. And on the other side of the headstock, screw it down. And see, it won't move back and forth because it has these little lips on those brackets. So I'm just going to take this crescent wrench and tighten down on this nut. I'm not going to get it too tight. Tight is tight, remember. And it's pretty tight. I'd say it's good to go. all that's left for me to do is throw some strings on it and set it up. Isn't she gorgeous? Look at that neck. Here it is. Put the input jack in too. I strung this up with some D'Addario 11s, tuned it, intonated it, the strings are broken in. I'm going to be running it through a Vox AC4 with a 12-inch speaker. I'm going to play a few open chords just to get some clean sounds. Then I actually have a Friedman Golden Pearl distortion pedal. I'm going to do that for my distorted sounds, not going to get too hardcore metal-y. And I have a reverb pedal that I may or may not use. Let's see how she sounds. Now let's hear some dirty sounds. Now let's just hear a simple solo tone with the Hall of Fame reverb pedal. Overall impressions, I'm satisfied.